Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Scams have been growing rapidly in the Southern Tier. Tonight, our Maggie Hall has some suggestions for how you can protect yourself from these growing threats.
Happy Halloween, folks. Now, let's talk about something really scary. Scams. In this age of technology, it's hard to tell what's what. Here are some of the scams that we've seen popping up around the Southern Tier and what you can do to avoid them. Number 1 is one of the biggest. Text scams. For example, people can receive a text with an alarming message, such as this, stating that a large withdrawal has come from their bank account. A link often comes along with it, promising that the issue will be resolved if you click on the link. Do not click on the link. Immediately block the number and report the scam to your local police department's non-emergent number. Guthrie patients have been victim of another phone scam recently in the Southern Tier. An individual with the Guthrie caller ID claims that the patient was disenrolled from Medicare and that they need to re-enroll immediately. This is not Guthrie. The caller demands for the patient's social security number, banking information, and other personal information. Local authorities recommend that you do not give personal information or your banking information without verifying that the source is legitimate. And finally, we have been seeing letter scams popping up all over the Southern Tier. An example of one is individuals receiving a letter from a corporation offering compensation if the person wraps their car with advertising material. Do not cash any checks that you receive in the mail that you are not directly expecting. These are false checks and will bounce almost immediately. Overall, to best protect yourself from scams, do not click on any links. Do not provide any personal and banking information. Verify the source as legitimate before interacting any further with it. Do not cash any checks you have received in the mail. And immediately report any suspected scams to your local police department. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
Ithaca police have arrested a man for a murder that took place over the weekend. According to Ithaca police, Jeremiah Jordan was arrested for the murder of Michael Monroe. Jordan is being held in Tompkins County Jail. Anyone who has information related to this incident is urged to contact the Ithaca police. New details have emerged about how a New Hampshire prison escapee ended up in Corning. Over the summer, Peter DeBazio had escaped from Belknap County Jail, stole a Jeep, and made it to Corning before being arrested at a gas station by police. According to prosecutors on the case, DeBazio escaped through an unalarmed door in the jail's laundry room. DeBazio built a battering ram by using heavy metal chairs attached to a laundry cart to smash through the door. New York State is seeing a rise in the children's respiratory illness known as RSV. It appears as a simple cold in adults, but it can be deadly in children and babies. The rise in cases could be attributed to a large population of babies and children who were protected from common viruses during the pandemic. If you or your child begins experiencing severe respiratory symptoms, including wheezing, loss of breath, decrease in appetite, high fever, immediately consult with your primary physician. Families around Corning were out trick-or-treating for Halloween. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg spoke to those who were out celebrating.
Hundreds of people lined Market Street to celebrate Halloween today. Businesses were handing out candy to trick-or-treaters wearing a variety of costumes. What are you guys dressed as?
I am Iron Man.
Iron Man?
Pumpkin.
A pumpkin?
So I'm a banana. They're kind of like lame and they didn't dress up. But we're out here on the Market Street. We're about to go get some candy, have a great time.
Some of this year's most popular costumes were dinosaurs, astronauts, princesses, and skeletons. Even though there was a minor sprinkle of rain during the festivities, spirits were high around the city. For some trick-or-treaters, this was their first time walking around and being a part of the celebration.
He was one last year, so he was here, but just he couldn't walk.
Oh.
So this year at least he could walk and he could trick-or-treat.
And what do you think is your favorite part about trick-or-treating?
What do you like, the candy? I believe it's the candy.
As trick-or-treaters' bags got full, it was time to head home and enjoy the treats. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Corning.
An almost 2-week-long boil water advisory has finally been lifted for the village of Millport. The boil advisory stemmed from a leak in a water pipe after fire crews used thousands of gallons of water to put out a house fire. Residents of Millport can now use the water freely without worry of any contamination. Lee Zeldin gets some help from down south, while Governor Kathy Hochul drawing on star power from her own party to help bring out the vote. Alexis McAdams has the latest.
That's right, and both candidates have been joined by some pretty big names on the campaign trail in New York. They're hoping that will give them the push they need to come out on top. In New York, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis joined Congressman Lee Zeldin at a rally on Long Island. The well-known Republican leader hyped up the large crowd, telling voters Zeldin will shake up Albany and make real change to the criminal justice system.
The other thing that he will do, and that what New York really needs to do, you need to stop coddling criminals. Stop turning them loose on the street. They'll commit a crime and they put them right back out. Stop releasing people early from prison. If you do crime, you must do the time.
Governor Kathy Hochul's campaign pulling in their own big names for support, releasing this new radio ad recorded by former President Barack Obama.
On November 8th, there is an election for governor in New York, and the stakes could not be higher. My friend, Governor Kathy Hochul, is the best person for the job, hands down.
As that gap closes in New York, crime is the hot topic. Zeldin says he'll declare a statewide crime crisis on day one. The incumbent recently launched her own crime plan, and as the polls tighten, Hochul remains confident.
I always run like I'm 10 points behind, always, in every one of my 14 elections. I run like an underdog, and the voters are now paying attention, realizing what's on the ballot this year. I mean, what's at stake in this election, how critically important it is.
Early voting is now underway in New York. Governor Hochul only has a 4-point lead over Zeldin, according to the latest Quinnipiac poll. In New York, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
The criminal tax fraud trial against the Trump Organization has started in New York City. Prosecutors say the company's top officials dodged taxes in a 15-year scheme. Lawyers were met by protesters as they entered the courthouse today. The Trump Organization could face fines of more than $1 million, along with obstacles in securing new deals and business if convicted. Neither Trump nor his children face accusations in the trial. Millions are trying their luck with the Powerball jackpot hitting $1 billion for tonight's drawing. No one won Saturday's jackpot of $825 million, although one winner did match 5 numbers and the power play, taking home $2 million. Not bad. And 4 other winners claimed $1 million prizes so far. But the big Powerball prize is still on the table this Halloween. Your forecast for the week is up next. And later, we're talking turkey. Why Thanksgiving will take a bigger bite out of your wallet this year. That's coming up.
Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Well, Mother Nature was setting the scene for Halloween with the gloomy skies lingering and bringing in some light rain showers across the region. Now, we will note that as we step through the overnight, we continue to stay under those mostly cloudy skies, which does keep temperatures within those 50s, a few 40s possible. But note that we still stay under some of those southerly wind conditions. Now, we'll see that there is going to be some gloomier skies again for our Monday or Tuesday forecast, for our first day of November. Also, a few light rain showers can't be ruled out, but not expecting much for accumulation, just another few hundredths of an inch to add on top of the light rainfall that we were experiencing today. But what we have noted that even under these gloomy skies, temperatures have been staying on the more mild side, and there even will be, by the end of the week, a chance to see a few 70-degree high temperatures for early November. And that is going to be paired up with some sunny skies, so some outdoor conditions looking possible even through the weekend forecast. Now, trending into our Tuesday, we see that we have those mostly cloudy skies in place, so we start off the day into those lower 50s. So you can leave the extra warmer layers at home, but might want to have that waterproof layer, as a stray shower or two will be possible throughout the daytime. Now, not going to rain all day and won't be a washout as expected, but as we will see, there's still going to be some of those light sprinkles noted from time to time, as high temperatures will climb into the mid 60s, even looking at a high of 67 into Elmira. Our average for this time of the year is the mid 50s, so we're already already more than 10 degrees above average, and there's still more warming ahead. We'll also see that we have lighter winds, even though from the south is what's going to give us that warming trend. So across the area, we see that all the way through the Finger Lakes, down through Westfield, from those lower 60s at 61, Bath at 66 to Elmira at 67. We are warmer than average. Now we'll see as we step into that Wednesday forecast, more sunshine will be around, so you'll start to need those sunglasses again, and we'll see that temperatures though continue to stay consistent into those mid 60s. So we're talking again still 10 degrees above average. Now talking about above average conditions, this is going to continue to move in as mentioned through the weekend, but even looking at our 8 to 14 day outlook runs us through November 14th. So the first 2 weeks of November here mentioned that we could have continuous above average conditions. Now there are some changes, so we'll have to keep an eye on that far extended forecast, but for the most part, quiet weather is going to pair up with these warmer than average conditions. Here's our chance to potentially flirt with the 70s as early as Thursday into Friday as we stay under mostly sunny skies, even low temperatures comfortable as we'll hold within those 40s and 50s. We'll see as we head into the weekend, there will be a mention of some increase in cloud cover and maybe a chance for a few light rain showers, but it is going to be a weak shortwave. We're not expecting any big sweeping changes as we continue to see our temperatures stay well above average as we step into next work week.
Twitter could be adding a more expensive subscription that also verifies users. The diesel shortage is reaching crisis mode, and Gen Z is embracing rather snarky email sign-offs in the workplace. Steve Rappaport has those stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Elon Musk will revamp Twitter's user verification process and could reportedly start charging $20 a month for the blue check mark. Meanwhile, some celebrities are fleeing from the platform. Shonda Rhimes tweeting, "Not hanging around for whatever Elon has planned. Bye." The U.S. supply of diesel is now dangerously low, according to the Energy Information Administration. They say there is just a 25-day supply left as cold weather approaches. Analysts say the low supply could make inflation even worse as the demand for home heating oil rises. Frontier Airlines will offer customers all-you-can-fly passes that offer unlimited trips for an entire year, but you can only confirm your booking with it one day before takeoff. Frontier's goal is to fill most of its unused seats on flights. It's unclear exactly how much the passes will cost at this time. And a CEO who hired only younger workers at his company is showing off their laid-back email sign-offs on TikTok. Instead of sincerely, best, or warm regards, Gen Z is using signatures like lukewarm regards, hasta la pasta, and even okay then. Some users calling it unprofessional, while others say it's more conversational and honest. That's business. I'm Steve Rappaport.
New data shows restaurants are closing sooner than they did before the pandemic. A report by analysis firm Data Essentials Firefly finds that restaurants across the country have cut back operating hours by almost 8% since 2019. Hundreds of thousands of dining establishments in the U.S. are open for 6.4 fewer hours a week. The report shows that nearly 60% of U.S. restaurants reduced their business hours since before the pandemic restrictions. Well, the countdown to Thanksgiving is about to begin, but ongoing inflation and a crippling strain of bird flu are spelling bad news for consumers ahead of the big day. Richard Jordan has more on why the cost of your turkey may leave a bad taste in your mouth this year.
The price is almost certainly going to be higher.
They're predominantly flightless birds, but the cost of turkey ahead of the quickly approaching Thanksgiving holiday is soaring. The Department of Agriculture reports prices for an 8 to 16-pound bird are up by 73% from last year. But ongoing inflation is only partially to blame, with the H5N1 strain of the bird flu also responsible for the dramatic price surge.
H5N1 is of significant concern because it causes significant morbidity and mortality in domestic birds.
Although it poses low risk for people, bird flu is extremely contagious for turkeys, chickens, and several species of wild birds. Since January, cases have been reported in at least 43 states, with farms forced to kill millions of birds to try to stop the spread. The USDA reports more than 6 million of those killed were turkeys.
We've heard everybody say, wow, the egg prices have gotten high this year, or the poultry prices have gotten high, or I can't find a turkey for Thanksgiving. And this is why.
Wildlife experts say bird flu risk could worsen heading into winter as wild birds continue migrating, oftentimes landing near domesticated farms and spreading the virus along the way. But if bird flu cases don't elevate, analysts expect prices for next year may not be so painful.
Looking into 2023, we're only expecting a 0 to 5% increase in turkey prices.
Richard Jordan, Fox News.
Still ahead, a look at the sticker shock coming for some families as cold weather sets in. That story and more after this. Nights are getting longer, days are getting colder, and there's a home heating oil shortage developing in the Northeast as heating season gets underway. Meanwhile, the price is nearly double that of last year, burning a hole in family budgets. Laura Engel has that story.
Thank you. Juliet Williamson is one of the many New Yorkers bracing for what they know is going to be a painful winter when it comes to paying their home oil heating bills.
I had to call the office and tell them, when you come in, let me know. And if you come in, just give me 100 gallons. I cannot afford anymore right now.
The news of the possible heating oil supply problem is not sitting well with consumers in the Northeast, where more people use heating oil than anywhere else in the country. Many along the East Coast say they're already making difficult financial choices.
So if the winter gets really harsh, I don't know how we're going to do it. Maybe I have to go on a payment plan.
And I'm thinking of going back to my other part-time job, which I had before COVID. And so I'll have 2 part-time jobs in order to just survive.
The average price of home heating oil in September was $4.81 a gallon, according to St. Louis Federal Reserve, up more than 60%. Rob Pierce, the owner of Family Fuel and Heating Service, says his customers are paying nearly double what they paid last year.
A normal delivery, which is usually 170 to 180 gallons, used to be $500-600. The same bill is now $1,000, $1,100 bill.
As we watch what industry experts are calling a developing crisis, some wholesalers in Connecticut are putting retailers on allocation, essentially only allowing them to buy a limited amount based on their supply. Still, others say they have seen this industry manage tough times before.
We're very comfortable knowing that the suppliers of product, whether it's Massachusetts or Connecticut or New York, are very capable about bringing supply here. They've shown that in the past, whether it's been storm-related or cold winters. This is another business challenge.
And as homeowners budget, energy experts are urging consumers to be prepared to conserve energy this winter because it might be one of the only ways to keep costs down. In New York, Laura Engel, Fox News.
The competition on Fox's Lego Masters is stacking up to one exciting season. We've got a preview of the challenge ahead for teams and talk with host Will Arnett about the brick building on set and Lego fun at home. Here's Ashley Vorkin.
Are you ready? Fox's Lego Masters keeps building on those creative challenges. Next up, the series sets sail with teams making pirate ships, complete with a story about its captain and treasure. It's the shortest challenge this season yet, with only 8 hours to do it. Host Will Arnett has learned his role on set is to cheer contestants on and entertain when the pressure is on.
When I show up and we're on set and they're building and stuff and they're talking to me about their builds, for me to sort of maybe say, hey, look, I know from experience, Jamie likes this, Amy likes this. Keep that in mind. I know you know this, so don't, and you're the experts, not me, but don't lose sight of A, B, and C.
Good luck.
And also the role of just kind of a total clown who just gets to kind of run around and act like a clown.
The brick building fun continues at home, though his role there is a bit different.
Because I'm around Lego in my work time, I don't build in my downtime. But my kids build a lot, and there's a constant flow of bricks, and there's a lot of cleaning up going on, not on their part.
It's a home workshop with intricate projects. I showed him my friend's cool build, and he knew it right away.
It's like a limited edition Ferrari build.
I don't need to look. You know why? Because we have one.
Do you? Did you do it?
My son built it. My older son built it last year. He had to keep it away from the little kids because once it was finished, they were all like, yeah. And he's like, no, it's not a toy. I built this.
Season 3 of Lego Masters airs right here on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
We'll be right back after this break. Well, a guy named Bob was in the business of Johns, and now an auction company is helping sell some of Bob's hobby products. Bob Drayton, the late owner of Mr. Bob's Portable Toilets in southern New Jersey, owned quite a few classic cars. But with Bob's death in 2020, Vanderbrink Auctions will help sell off some of his car collection with cars in varying conditions. Drayton owns 70 cars, from Chevrolets to discontinued ones like Crossley, Nash, and Studebaker. Vanderbrink is holding an auction online until November 6th. I'm Harriet Wallace. Thanks for watching.